Welcome back to Coaching Sidebar. This is Ed McCarthy, CEO of Echelon Performance. My guest again is Carol Roby. Carol is the Dean of Commodore Academy and the Senior Director of People Development for Commodore Builders. Carol, welcome back.
Thank you.
Carol, we've talked about it before. We've talked about a lot of what I consider to be interesting, fascinating topics. And I said it at the break. You said it at the break. We could talk about some of these all day long. Just whether it's technology, whether it's incorporation of different generations of the workforce, how do we work better together? But I'm not going to let you go before we talk about what I think is really powerful for you and for us who are now listening to you. And that is your diversity of experience. You've really worn a lot of different hats. You've worn walked in different shoes over the years. Agency side. Now you're in commercial building. You're learning and development. You've seen successful organizations in a variety of settings, and a lot of our work is in leadership. So I wanted to just narrow this conversation down to, when you look at the successful organizations that you've been part of or that you have worked with, let's talk about some of those leadership traits and abilities that you think are critical no matter what part or no matter what industry you're really in. And then I say this because we're in a day and age now where people like to make change, right? People have no qualms saying, I'm not really feeling this role, this job, this industry, and I'm going to go out, I'm going to be over there. But someday I want to be a leader. What are some of those key leadership traits that you think are highly portable and important no matter where you are in the different parts of the economy?
Yeah. Well, here's where I'd probably start out by going back to where we started, which is a belief that the core capabilities haven't shifted much in terms of, in my mind, in terms of really true leadership capability, leadership skills. And it's less about some of the digital technologies and some of the things we were talking about, and more about how I engage as a person and as a leader with the people on my team.
Yeah.
And my ability to do that, regardless of where I'm doing it. I came here without any knowledge in construction whatsoever. And I had come to the cybersecurity world without any industry knowledge. But I knew a little bit about everything in training and development. Some areas, a lot of it, some areas, not a lot of it. And what I shared with this organization and the CEO was that I knew a lot of people who would help us figure things out if I didn't know it. I had spent my life building a rich, solid network of people that were sometimes, in many cases, much smarter than me. And so I think that headset enabled me to not only build this organization here, but it's what's helped me build other organizations in other industries that I know nothing about. The portable skill there being understanding the value. I mean, that minimizes what I'm trying to say, but in building a strong network internally and externally as a strategy for you as a leader, because you never know where you're going to want to take that, and you never know who you're going to want to tap into to help you be successful. So I think that's a key skill that people might not necessarily perceive it as one, but a critical one.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the way that it's not something that you said, it's the way that you're saying it. And I don't mean to derail your thought process, but you are so humble. You have started organizations that, been part of organizations. You are so incredibly humble about that. And you said, look, you came to Commodore Builders and you didn't know anything about, again, that you're being humble, but commercial construction, or whether it was about technology in the Cyber Warrior Academy. Your willingness to learn and say, you know what, I don't know anything about this, but I can learn, right? I think that's a really powerful part of being a leader as well, right? Just to say, look, I have confidence in my ability, but I don't know I will learn. I don't know this part of it.
Well, so you bring up, I think, the right word, humility.
Okay.
I believe bringing that attribute, I don't know if people would call it a skill, but having humility is critical. And there's an authenticity that you bring when you're humble, and it's real. Whatever environment you're in, and people will gravitate around you. They want you to be successful, and they trust that you are there for their best interest, not your own. And that's kind of been my headset. Um, so yeah, I think that humility, I think this authenticity around who you are, and you also mentioned confidence. The question: how do you build confidence? Certainly we talk about this a lot with younger people just joining the workforce and ours and other organizations, and you build the confidence by doing. You build the confidence by failing. You build the confidence by growing and having mentors that can support you along the way. So I've found that having built confidence in my skill and ability, coupled with humility, because I will tell you that I have a big fat opinion about everything. So if there's a problem, I've got the answer.
Yeah.
And I'm also mindful that my answer might not be the right one. So my job as a leader is to help figure out what you think and what you think and what you think, and then add my big fat opinion, to the cauldron before we come up with the right solutions. So having, I think that combination, and if I had to pepper in a third, I like three-legged stools. If you haven't figured that out, I think curiosity. I know a lot more recently written about curiosity. I do feel that there's so many leaders that say it's my way. This is how we've done it.
Yeah.
This is the way to do it. And you cannot evolve with that head. Maybe you can, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
So if you have that curious headset, and that is a skill, right? Yeah. And you can teach that. And I'm developing a program here to do that. Really dig in and have, why do we do it that way? Is there another way to do it that way that ties in humility, meaning I don't have all the answers, or I might have the answer, but I'm curious to know what you think. Curiosity plus confidence plus humility is probably a great recipe to transport.
Yeah, that's a powerful trifecta right there. And I have two thoughts. The first one is if you really so Claire, our COO, if you really want her to get the hair raised on her arms, just say, well, that's the way we've always done it. That drives her completely mad. But it's funny. We're talking about curiosity, and that's a great thought, because I think in a lot of cases, and you and I have been in these situations before, where we're working with a client or we're working in an organization, and we're trying to get managers, salespeople, customer service representatives to engage more with a customer. And we often default to a skill that's asking better questions or thoughtful questions or open-ended questions, when really what we're trying to do is just to get them to be more curious, right? Try to get them to be excited about learning about somebody else or learning about somebody else's situation, I think is really powerful.
Yes. And you probably just tapped into the other portable skill set, which is developing a learner's headset. Because curiosity is about, I don't have all the answers and I want to learn more. I'm open to learning more. I'm on the back nine of my career. And what I love is that I am still learning every single day. But I'm open to that. I want that. If I didn't have that, I would die. I need that. And that I do believe has been main reason for my successes is that I've been open to learning.
Yeah. And it's said, the conversation that we have had these 3 sessions, it's very clear that you are so open to learning and you have that learner's mindset. I could put you, I think, in pretty much any role, professional or otherwise, and you would be able to be successful just because you have the 3 things that we focused on. You're somebody that has all 3 of those. So thank you for your insights, and thank you for sharing that. That is really very valuable. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, Carol Roby, Dean of Commodore Academy, Senior Director of People Development for Commodore Builders. Just thank you so much for being part of this, and we look forward to talking to you again sometime really soon.
Thank you for having me, Ed.
My pleasure. We'll take care, okay?
Bye-bye.
All right.